chosen one. Listen carefully. Heaven has pressed pause on everything around you so that this moment would not slip past you. You are not hearing these words by accident. You are not stumbling into this message by coincidence. This is divine orchestration. The silence you have carried, the restless nights, the ache inside of you that never seemed to fade, it was all leading to this. God is about to reveal what they never wanted you to know. From the beginning, you were different. You sensed it, but you could never fully explain it. Others could laugh freely, chase what was shallow, and remain blind to the deeper meaning of existence. But you could not. Something inside you always pulled you higher, whispered that you were made for more, and reminded you that you were not like the rest. You are the chosen one. And now, the veil begins to lift. The Spirit of God whispers, "Pay attention," because in the silence, when the noise of the world fades, that is when heaven speaks the loudest. You have carried burdens that weren't even yours. You have been misunderstood by the very people you loved. And yet, through it all, you were preserved, not for destruction, but for destiny. Your story has not been random chaos. It has been divine design, preparing you for this awakening. Look around. Chosen one. Everything you thought was breaking you was in fact making you. Every rejection was a redirection. Every closed door was God's way of positioning you. And every battle that threatened to drown you was allowed only to sharpen the fire inside of you. You were never abandoned, even in your darkest moments. That voice that told you to hold on. The strength you felt when you had nothing left, that was heaven carrying you. You see, there are forces that never wanted you to rise. From the moment you were born, the enemy saw the mark upon your life. He knew you were not ordinary. He knew that your presence alone disrupts darkness. And so, he tried everything: confusion, betrayal, fear, delay. He stirred people against you, set traps in your path, and whispered lies to make you doubt your worth. Yet even through the storms, unseen hands lifted you. You are still here, still standing, still breathing. Why? Because you cannot be defeated when you are chosen by the Almighty. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind. That is not just scripture for the masses. It is a living declaration over you. Even when people conspired against you, even when doors slammed shut, even when whispers surrounded your name, heaven's hand was still writing your story. And the truth is this: nothing and no one has the authority to erase what God Himself has written. Chosen one, hear this. Your awakening is not coming. It has already begun. You feel it in your spirit. The pull toward purpose is stronger now than ever before. The weight of delay is breaking. The chains of fear are loosening. The shadows that once intimidated you are now shrinking in the presence of your light. God has not brought you this far to leave you. He has brought you here to reveal to you what was hidden. And yet, this is only the beginning. The silence is not empty. It is filled with revelation. God has been separating you, refining you, shaping you. And now He is calling you forth. This is the season where the secrets are uncovered, where your true identity is revealed, and where the very things that tried to destroy you will become the platform of your testimony. Beloved, if you can feel the truth stirring in your soul, Do not ignore it. Respond. Step into it. Type 777 in the comments as a prophetic act that you are ready to embrace your crown, ready to claim your destiny, and ready to walk in the revelation that was kept from you. And while you do that, I ask you from the depths of my spirit, like this message, share it with others who need awakening, and subscribe so that you never miss another moment. Heaven chooses to speak to you. This is your hour. Chosen one. Heaven is moving. The veil is lifting, and the silence is being broken. Stay alert, for what God is about to show you will change everything. Chosen one. Now that the silence has broken and the first veil has lifted, it is time you understand the hidden battles that were waged against you long before you even recognized them. These were not ordinary struggles. They were unseen wars. Conflicts fought in realms beyond human sight, where forces of darkness conspired to suffocate your destiny before it ever had a chance to breathe. You have felt them, even if you could not name them. The sudden heaviness that came upon you in the night, the inexplicable opposition that rose when you were closest to breakthrough, the betrayals that seemed perfectly timed to rob you of trust. These were not coincidences. They were coordinated strikes, carefully arranged by an enemy who fears your rising. The fact that you are here, still listening, still standing, is proof that those battles did not consume you. This is why the battle against you has always been so fierce. The enemy does not waste his arsenal on those who pose no threat. He knows your light carries the power to expose his darkness. He knows that your very existence is a testimony of God's mercy and power. So he tried to crush you in silence, to wear you down before your voice could be released, before your assignment could awaken. Chosen one. Do you not see the pattern now? The sudden losses, the cycles of delay, the betrayals that left scars, all of them were aimed at breaking your spirit. And yet, here you are. The more pressure was applied to your life, the more the hidden strength inside you began to reveal itself. You were not designed to collapse under the weight. You were designed to rise through it. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 3, verse 17, "Though the fig tree does not bud, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. Be joyful in God." These words were not penned for those who live untouched by pain, but for the chosen ones who know the sting of loss and still find the fire to believe. Chosen one. Do not despise the battles you endured. They have trained you in ways comfort never could. You now carry discernment sharper than a sword, vision clearer than before, and a heart that beats with compassion because you know the taste of suffering. What once looked like punishment is now revealed as preparation. Think of how many times you questioned your worth, yet those very questions drove you into prayer. Think of how many times you felt unworthy, yet those feelings carved in you a humility that heaven treasures. Think of how many times you were brought to your knees, yet it was on your knees that you discovered the strength to rise again. This is the paradox of the chosen. Brokenness births glory. Your hidden battles also reveal something greater, the endurance of your spirit. You have walked through fire that others could not survive. You have endured storms that should have left you shattered, but instead of being destroyed, you were refined. You are not fragile glass, you are tempered steel. Every attack has only proven that you are unshakable when your roots are planted in the living God. Chosen one. The world may never know the depth of what you carried in silence, but heaven does. and it is heaven that will reward you openly. Every hidden tear will be turned into visible testimony. Every quiet battle will be transformed into public victory. You are stepping into a season where the unseen wars of your past will no longer define you, but the glory of God within you will. So hold this truth close. You were never fighting alone. Every step you took, every breath you drew in the midst of battle, was sustained by the hand of God. You are here because His purpose for you cannot be erased. You are alive because your destiny has not yet been fulfilled. And the very battles that were meant to end you have become the foundation for the story that will elevate you. Chosen one. The hidden battles were not signs of weakness, but confirmations of strength. They were not proof of abandonment, but evidence of favor. And now, as light begins to break over your life, you will see clearly what was hidden all along. That every fight, every scar, every struggle was shaping you into the unstoppable force you are becoming. Chosen one. From the earliest days of your life, you sensed that you were never meant to blend in. You carried questions that others never bothered to ask. You noticed details others dismissed. You felt emotions more deeply. And even as a child, you saw things with eyes that reached beyond the surface. This difference was not a mistake. It was the mark of heaven upon your life. The reason you never fit into the molds others tried to press you into is because your identity was never rooted in their approval. While others chased temporary acceptance, your spirit longed for something greater: truth, authenticity, and divine purpose. And so you stood apart. Some labeled you strange. Others called you too intense. And some even turned away. But every rejection was a silent confirmation: you are not ordinary. Chosen one. The world often fears what it cannot understand. And you, carrying light, carrying a call, carrying a destiny too vast for words, became a mystery to those around you. They could not define you, so they dismissed you. They could not control you, so they criticized you. But what they failed to see was that heaven had already sealed you with identity long before their opinions ever reached your ears. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 27. But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. Chosen one. Your difference is not weakness. Your uniqueness is not a flaw. It is the evidence of divine selection. The very traits that made you stand out were designed to set you apart for a destiny far greater than you imagined. Think about it while others could settle for shallow pursuits. Something inside you resisted. While others could compromise easily, your heart pulled away. While others ignored the quiet voice of God, you found yourself wrestling in the night, unable to silence His call. This is proof that you are not of the crowd. You are of the kingdom. Every time you wondered why you couldn't simply be like everyone else, heaven was whispering, because you were never made to be everyone else. Your path is not wide and easy, it is narrow and marked. You have been chosen to carry assignments others could not. You have been entrusted with responsibilities others would drop. You are a torchbearer, called to light paths for generations. And yes, that difference has cost you. You've endured loneliness. You've carried labels. You've faced the sting of being misunderstood. But chosen one, the oil of destiny is never poured out cheaply. The cost of your separation is the evidence of your calling. The world's rejection was heaven's preservation. Every door that refused you was shielding you from environments too small for your anointing. Remember this: those who are chosen will always walk a different path. While others are distracted by noise, you are tuned to heaven's frequency. While others seek applause, you are driven by eternal vision. While others bend to fit in, you are being shaped by God to stand out. Your difference is your divine distinction. Beloved, stop apologizing for who you are. Stop dimming your light to make others comfortable in their shadows. Stop silencing your voice to protect fragile egos. You were not born to shrink. You were born to shine. And every moment, you embrace your true self. The world encounters the living evidence of God's hand upon you. Consider how many times you tried to suppress your fire, only to find it burning stronger. How many times you tried to hide, only to be pushed into the spotlight. How many times you tried to silence your convictions, only for them to roar louder within you. This is because your difference is not something you can erase, it is who you are. Chosen one. Even your struggles have testified of this truth. The depth of your battles, the weight of your burdens, the intensity of your trials, these are not signs of weakness, but of capacity. Heaven only pours weight where it has built strength, and you, though you did not see it, have been forged into someone who can carry what others cannot. So, stand tall in your difference. Celebrate the way God designed you. You are not too much. You are exactly what this world needs. You are not a misfit. You are a divine key. And your time of hiding is over. Because the very thing they tried to bury will become the evidence of your crown. Now, I ask you to seal this truth with a declaration. Comment below with these words: I stand apart. By typing this, you are not just leaving words on a screen, you are proclaiming that you will no longer apologize for your calling, no longer shrink back into the shadows, and no longer trade your authenticity for shallow approval. You are chosen, and your difference is divine. Chosen one. Let this be the day you embrace it fully. Your uniqueness is not a burden, it is a banner. And as you lift it high, darkness will scatter, purpose will awaken, and your true identity will shine brighter than ever before. Chosen one. It is time to revisit the places of rejection and betrayal, not to reopen wounds, but to see them now with the clarity of heaven's perspective. For so long, you asked, why did they turn against me? Why did those I loved most leave me when I needed them? Those questions carved scars in your heart. But today, revelation comes. You were not rejected because you were unworthy. You were preserved because you were chosen. Think back on the moments that crushed you most deeply. The friend who turned cold, the mentor who disappointed you, the family member who misunderstood your very essence. Each of those experiences left you staggering, wondering why your loyalty was repaid with loss. But chosen one, heaven was guarding you. Even in those moments, hidden motives were exposed. Secret intentions were revealed, and though it hurt, it was mercy disguised as pain. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. This promise is not empty comfort. It is the eternal explanation behind every rejection you endured. God was not stripping you bare to harm you. He was cutting ties that could choke the promise He planted inside you. See it now. The betrayals were not the end of your story, but the pruning of your story. Just as a tree is cut back to bear greater fruit, You were cut away from certain connections so that your life could overflow with harvest. Had those relationships remained, they would have drained your roots and stifled your growth. But God, in His mercy, removed them so that you could rise unhindered. Chosen one, take courage in this. Your heart may still ache, but even the ache is holy, for it testifies that you loved deeply, and though people mishandled that love, heaven treasures it. Nothing you gave in sincerity was wasted. The seeds of loyalty, kindness, and faithfulness you sowed will not return void. Though they were trampled by men, they are stored in heaven's account, waiting to bloom in ways you cannot yet see. Understand this truth. Rejection often precedes elevation. The throne of destiny is rarely reached without betrayal. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers before ruling Egypt. David was abandoned in fields before becoming king. Even Christ himself was betrayed with a kiss before fulfilling the greatest mission of all. You, too, walk in this sacred pattern. The betrayal was not your end, it was your preparation for greater beginnings. And perhaps, chosen one, this is why your heart still carries fragments of sorrow, because you gave trust, and it was shattered. You gave love, and it was discarded. But hear this, the breaking was necessary to reveal where your foundation truly lies. Not in people, not in approval, not in fragile promises, but in the unshakable faithfulness of God. Every no that echoed through your life was heaven's yes to something greater. Every door that slammed shut was God's hand, redirecting you toward doors no man can close. Every voice that rose against you only positioned you to hear more clearly the voice of the one who never leaves. Chosen one, release the bitterness that tries to cling to rejection. Do not carry resentment into the season of your rising. What was meant to wound you has now been transformed into wisdom. What was meant to bind you has become your testimony of freedom. And what was meant to bury you has, instead, planted you deeper in purpose. So walk forward with a new vision. No longer see yourself as the abandoned, but as the preserved. No longer see yourself as the forgotten, but as the hidden. You were never cast aside. You were set apart. The betrayals were not proof of your insignificance, but of your significance. Darkness would not have fought so hard to keep you bound unless your release terrified it. Chosen one, as you continue your journey, let this truth settle deep into your soul. Rejection was redirection. Betrayal was protection. And loss was preservation. Nothing was wasted. Every moment of pain has been redeemed into purpose. Every scar has been woven into a story that will one day heal others. And every person who walked away created space for the right ones to enter. Lift your head. Do not mourn over what is gone, for heaven has written a chapter ahead that cannot be derailed by human betrayal. The story is still unfolding, and its ending is marked with glory. Chosen one, there comes a time when the masks must fall. For too long, you have been surrounded by smiles that hid sharp intentions, by handshakes that disguised chains, by words of flattery that carried poison underneath. You know this truth. Well, those who sat nearest to you were not always the ones who truly honored you. Some feared your light, and so they cloaked themselves in false kindness while working against you in secret. It is a painful awakening to realize that not every friend is truly a friend. Some were shadows pretending to be shelter. Some were thieves dressed as companions. Others wore masks so carefully crafted that you mistook them for allies. Yet, chosen one, understand this: their deception does not diminish your worth. It only proves how radiant your light is, that others felt compelled to disguise themselves in its glow. Think of a candle in a dark room. The flame is small, but it cannot be ignored. Insects are drawn to it. Some come for warmth. Others come to be consumed. The same has been true of your light. Some came because they needed your guidance. Others came because they wanted to drain your energy. But still, your flame has never gone out. In fact, it has only grown stronger. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 4, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff. They comfort me." Chosen one, your valley has often been filled with shadows. But the truth is, shadows can only exist where there is light. Their masks were shadows, and your light revealed them. Now you see more clearly. The people who smiled at your success were not always happy for you. Some secretly wished for your fall. The ones who applauded your steps often studied them, hoping you would stumble. And yet, every plot against you failed, because God Himself has been the shield around your life. But do not let this truth make you bitter. Instead, let it make you wise. For just as gold is refined by fire, your discernment has been refined by experience. You now know how to read the eyes behind the smile. You can sense the weight behind the words. You understand that not all who stand near you deserve access to your heart. This wisdom is part of your armor. Chosen one, imagine your life as a garden. Some people were like weeds, growing close, but stealing nutrients from your soil. Others were like thorns, pressing against you and drawing blood. But there were also a few who were like trees rooted, strong, and life-giving. The weeds and thorns had to be exposed so that the trees could remain, and though the pruning hurt, it cleared space for new growth. You may wonder, why did I have to learn this the hard way? Beloved, because your destiny requires clarity. You cannot rise carrying counterfeits who only drain you. You cannot walk into your future with those who secretly hope for your failure. The masks had to be revealed before your next chapter. And as you hear this, I speak with honesty and humility. Messages like these are seeds. If they have spoken to your soul, then I invite you share this word like a lantern passed into someone else's darkness. Let another chosen one be awakened through your hands. Support this work not only by listening, but by sowing into it, whether through a like, a share, a subscription, or even a donation. Just as a farmer waters the ground to see a harvest, your support allows these seeds of truth to reach more hearts who desperately need them. I do not ask as one begging. I ask as one offering you a chance to join in the sowing. A river never runs dry when many streams flow into it. And in the same way, this ministry of words, light, and revelation grows stronger when many hearts pour into it. You may think a small gesture means little, but even a drop of rain helps the earth bloom. Chosen one, you have already endured much, and now you see. What was hidden has been revealed. You have walked among masks, but now you walk in truth, and this truth sets you free from the burden of pretending, from the weight of misplaced trust, from the shadows of deceit. Do not despise those who wore masks. They only revealed the necessity of discernment. Without them, You would not know the depth of sincerity when you find it. Without them, you would not value the rare gems of true companionship. Their deception sharpened your vision. Their masks made you wiser. Their betrayal trained you for greatness. Now, as the masks fall, walk boldly into authenticity. Surround yourself with those whose words match their hearts, whose hands carry healing, whose presence amplifies your peace. Do not cling to the shadows. Do not waste time resenting the false. Fix your eyes on the light, for your journey ahead demands clarity, strength, and unwavering truth. Chosen one, your path is lit. Your flame burns steadily, and no mask, no shadow, no counterfeit will ever diminish the radiance heaven has placed within you. Chosen one. Now the Spirit leads us deeper into the truth of what they never told you. From the beginning, there has been a secret hidden about your life, one that generations before you could not see clearly. You were never just another name in the crowd. You were the one chosen to carry generational keys, keys that unlock doors your ancestors could only dream of. Doors that will bless those who come after you. Have you ever wondered why you carry burdens that seem heavier than others? Why you feel the weight of responsibility, even for things you did not cause? Why your heart aches for healing in areas of family, community, and even nations? It is because you were chosen to be the one who breaks cycles. You are the one through whom curses end and blessings begin. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and in all your getting, get understanding. Chosen one. Wisdom is being poured into you because the keys you carry cannot be used carelessly. Heaven has entrusted you with insight that others ignored. The very patterns that repeated in your family line, the struggles, the failures, the endless cycles are placed before you so that you, with wisdom, can break them once and for all. Think of it like this. You stand at a massive door. For years, it remained locked, and everyone who came before you rattled its handle but never entered. They grew weary. They gave up, and they walked away. But now, the key rests in your hands. You are the one chosen to place it in the lock and open what has been closed for generations. What others could not touch, you will touch. What others failed to build, you will establish. What others lost, you will restore. Chosen one. This is why your journey has felt so unusual. You have been carrying not just your story, but the unfinished stories of those who came before. Their battles echoed into your life. Their wounds tried to bleed into your soul. But you were not sent to repeat them. You were sent to redeem them. You were not chosen to inherit their brokenness. You were chosen to inherit their unfinished dreams. This is why the attacks against you were so fierce. The enemy saw not just you, but the lineage you represent. He saw the freedom your life would unleash, the healing your obedience would activate, the generations that would be touched by your yes. And so he tried to break you before you discovered the truth. But chosen one, he has failed. For the very fact you are here proves you are rising into the fullness of your calling. Think of a chain stretched across centuries, link after link, each one repeating the same mistakes, the same pain. But now comes your life, the link chosen to break the pattern. When the chain snaps, it is not just you who is free. It is every link that comes after you, your children, and their children, and every generation beyond will walk in liberty because you chose to rise. This is the power of your calling. Chosen one. Hear me clearly. You were never too weak for this assignment. If the key is in your hand, it is because heaven knew you were strong enough to carry it. Even in your tears, you carried strength. Even in your doubts, you carried fire. Even in your loneliness, you carried authority. What they never told you is that you were never fighting just for yourself. You were fighting for an entire lineage, for voices yet unborn, for lives that will thank you, though they never meet you. And so, I ask you now, if this word strikes deep into your spirit, respond with faith. Comment the number 444 below, not as a random act, but as a prophetic declaration, for 3 4s symbolize foundation, stability, and divine alignment. By writing 444, you are saying, I receive the keys. I accept the call. I stand as the breaker of cycles. This is not a casual gesture. It is an agreement with heaven. Beloved, as you type it, know this: chains are snapping in unseen realms. Doors are opening in places you never imagined. Curses are dissolving, and blessings are flowing. For every tear you cried in secret, rivers of joy will flood generations after you. For every time you felt the crushing weight of responsibility, you will see the fruit of freedom bloom in lives you may never meet on this earth. Chosen one. The truth is unveiled now. You were not overlooked. You were entrusted. You were not forgotten. You were chosen. You are the carrier of keys, the breaker of cycles, the one through whom heaven will release legacy. Walk in this awareness. Stand tall in this truth. Embrace your assignment without fear, for you are fully equipped for what lies ahead. Chosen one. Now you must see clearly the agenda of the enemy. For many years, he has been weaving snares, not only to trouble you, but to completely derail the purpose God placed upon your life. His goal was never simply to inconvenience you. His obsession has always been your downfall. The reason? Because he knows your rising does not affect only you, it shakes entire generations, and it terrifies his kingdom of darkness. This is why your life has seemed harder than others. While some walk with ease, you faced storms without explanation. While others seemed to advance freely, you fought battles in silence. It was never about fairness, it was about threat. You carry something so powerful, so radiant, that if it ever reaches its fullness, it will dismantle works of darkness that have stood for years. The enemy has studied your bloodline. He has traced the weaknesses of those who came before you. He tried to use the same snares to catch you. Patterns of fear, cycles of poverty, chains of addiction, whispers of shame. He threw them all into your path, hoping you would stumble where others had fallen. But you are not here to repeat their story. You are here to break it. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 7. The Lord will cause your enemies who rise against you to be defeated before your face. They shall come out against you one way and flee before you 7 ways. Chosen one. Every scheme formed against you is doomed to collapse. No plan of hell can stand against the one who walks under heaven's protection. Notice how the enemy works. He rarely attacks where you are strongest. Instead, he presses against the cracks, the tender places, the wounds you carry. He whispers, lies into your mind, magnifies your insecurities. and distorts your vision. He knows that if he cannot stop your destiny outright, he will try to distract you long enough that you abandon it yourself. But the enemy underestimated one thing: your resilience. Every attack that came against you only made you more aware of the battle. Every wound made you wiser. Every disappointment taught you to lean on God more deeply. You are not fragile glass to be shattered. You are tempered steel, forged in fire. What was meant to break you has only prepared you to wield weapons of light with precision. Chosen one. Understand this: the enemy does not fight the ordinary. He fights the extraordinary. His relentless pursuit of your life is not proof of your weakness, but of your power. He would not have wasted time, resources, and schemes on you if heaven had not marked you as a dangerous threat to darkness. This is the very evidence of your chosenness. Think of how many times you were almost destroyed. The near accidents, the sudden sicknesses, the betrayals that cut too deep, moments where you thought you would not recover. Yet somehow, you always did. Not by your own strength, but because heaven intervened. Each time you rose again, the enemy's plans collapsed, and your destiny continued to unfold. Now, as you stand here, you must no longer see yourself as a victim of attacks, but as a warrior who has survived the front lines. You are not a casualty, you are a conqueror. You are not a pawn in the enemy's game, you are the one who overturns the board. Every scheme thrown against you has become fuel for your fire. Chosen one. The truth must settle deeply into your soul. The enemy's agenda has always been desperation. He knows his time is short. He knows his hold is slipping, and so he has fought you fiercely, hoping to delay what he cannot destroy. But delays are not denials. What God has promised, you cannot be erased by sabotage, cannot be stolen by deception, cannot be buried by shadows. So, when you look back on the battles you have faced, do not see them as random suffering. See them as the testimony that you are feared in hell and treasured in heaven. You were attacked because you carry authority. You were opposed because you carry light. You were resisted because you are destined to break through barriers others could not. Chosen one. Walk with this awareness. Let the memory of past battles remind you not of pain, but of power. Each scar is not evidence of defeat, but of survival. Each wound is not weakness, but wisdom. The enemy's agenda has failed, time and time again, because the hand of God has never left you. Lift your head. The schemes may have been many, but they could not stop you. The snares may have been clever, but they could not hold you. The enemy may have obsessed over your downfall, but still you rise. Still you breathe. Still you walk forward. And that alone is victory. Chosen one. Have you ever wondered why so many doors in your life seem to stay closed, even when you knocked with all your strength? Why opportunities slipped through your fingers when you felt ready? Why prayers seemed delayed, answers withheld, and seasons prolonged? The enemy may have whispered that it was punishment, that you were forgotten, that you were unworthy. But now the truth is revealed. The delays were never punishment. They were positioning. Heaven is strategic. What feels like a pause is often preparation. What looks like silence is often orchestration. The path you walk is not random, it is divinely measured. Every closed door was not rejection, but redirection. Every season of waiting was not wasted, but woven into the greater plan. What you called delay, heaven called alignment. Think of an archer drawing back a bow. The string is pulled tight, the arrow stretched far behind, as if moving in the wrong direction. To the arrow, it feels like setback, but in reality, the pullback is the preparation for launch. The farther the pull, the greater the force when released. And so it has been with you. The tension, the waiting, the feeling of being left behind, all of it was the bow of heaven pulling you back so that, when released, your impact would be undeniable. Chosen one, you must see how carefully your steps have been ordered. Had every door opened when you first knocked, you would have walked into rooms unprepared. Had every opportunity landed in your lap, it would have crushed you under its weight. The delay preserved you. The waiting matured you. What felt like a wilderness was actually the classroom of destiny. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Stillness is not weakness, it is trust. When you were still, when you could do nothing else, heaven was fighting on your behalf. Wars were waged in unseen realms. Battles you never witnessed were won in silence. And while you thought you were doing nothing, God was doing everything. Consider the times you prayed and heard no immediate reply. You thought heaven was distant. But in reality, heaven was arranging circumstances far beyond your view. Think of the times you watched others race ahead while you felt stuck. You thought you were behind. But in reality, heaven was aligning you with timing so precise that nothing could steal it when the moment arrived. Chosen one, do not despise the delays. Seeds do not sprout overnight. Oak trees take years to grow, but when they rise, they stand immovable for centuries. And you, too, have been growing deep roots unseen by the world. While others rushed to blossom quickly, you were being established. And soon, the fruit of your patience will overshadow the fleeting success of those who seemed ahead. Your tears during the waiting were not ignored. Your sighs in the night were not dismissed. Every moment of longing, every cry of "When, Lord," was collected by heaven, and though the answer tarried, it was never denied. You are not forgotten. You are being revealed in the fullness of appointed time. Think of Joseph, cast into a pit, sold into slavery, left in prison. To all who saw him, it looked like delay, a wasted life. But heaven was positioning him for a throne he could not see. Think of David, anointed as king, yet left tending sheep. It looked like delay, but it was preparation. And you, too, walk in this same rhythm. Delay is the sign of destiny preparing to manifest. Chosen one, your waiting has given you treasures others will never know. Patience sharpened your character. Discernment grew strong in your silence. Faith took root in your emptiness. Now, when the doors open, and they will, you will walk through, not with trembling, but with authority. You will carry wisdom forged in the furnace of waiting. And when that moment comes, those who once looked down on you will marvel. They will not understand how you rose so quickly, not realizing that your roots were deepening all along. They will see the fruit, but know nothing of the soil that hid your growth. They will see the glory, but never comprehend the waiting that forged it. So, chosen one, lift your eyes from the delays of yesterday. What seemed wasted was never wasted. What seemed withheld was never lost. Every pause was sacred. Every delay was strategic. Every locked door was guiding you closer to the one that would open with divine timing. You stand now, not as one abandoned, but as one prepared, not as one forgotten, but as one preserved. And when the release comes, and it will come suddenly, swiftly, and undeniably. The years of waiting will fold into a moment of fulfillment. The silence will give way to songs of victory. The delay will be revealed as divine strategy. Chosen one, take heart. You were never being punished. You were always being positioned. Chosen one. In the middle of delays, betrayals, and battles, there was still a whisper that carried you forward, while others heard nothing but noise. You heard something deeper, in the stillness of night, in the breaking of your heart. In the quiet moments when you thought no one saw you, there was a voice. It did not shout. It did not demand. It whispered, and that whisper was the voice of God. Many ignore it, too busy to notice. Some dismiss it, calling it imagination. Others hear it, but resist, preferring the comfort of their own plans. But you, chosen one, you could not silence it. That still, small voice followed you. It called your name in ways you could not explain. It tugged at your spirit when you tried to blend in. It awakened you when you tried to hide. And even when you resisted, it never left you. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 32, verse 8. I will instruct you, teach you the way. I will counsel you with my loving eye upon you. That is the whisper you have felt your whole life. The gentle nudge to turn left instead of right. The inner knowing that certain paths were not for you. The sudden peace that came when you prayed, even though nothing had changed yet. Chosen one. That voice was never random thought. It was divine guidance. It was heaven's counsel steering you through shadows, saving you from traps, and leading you to your appointed place. How many times did you feel you should not go somewhere? And later, you realized danger had been there. How many times did you feel urged to wait, only to discover the timing became perfect? These are not coincidences, they are divine orchestration. Yet, the voice is not always easy to follow. Sometimes it calls you away from comfort, away from the crowd, away from what seems logical. That is why others may look at your choices and fail to understand. They cannot see what you hear. They cannot sense the guidance within your soul. But you are not called to follow their opinions. You are called to follow His whisper. Chosen one. Think of the prophets. Think of the disciples. They too were led by a voice that the crowd could not hear. Noah built an ark when no rain had fallen. Abraham left his homeland not knowing where he was going. Mary accepted a calling that made her the subject of whispers in her town. All of them followed a voice, and their obedience shifted history. And now, you too are part of that same sacred pattern. Sometimes you doubted yourself, asking, was that really God, or was it just me? But even in your doubt, you obeyed. And that obedience has saved you from paths that would have destroyed you. The whisper may not always bring clarity in the moment, but it always brings confirmation in time. What felt like uncertainty in the beginning has proven to be wisdom in the end. Chosen one. This is why you must treasure the whisper. It is not loud because it does not need to be. It is not dramatic because its power is in its intimacy. God does not need to shout to those who walk close. His voice is soft, but it is steady. And the more you lean in, the clearer it becomes. Now, pause. Beloved, reflect on your journey. Has there not always been a voice guiding you? Has it not been with you in the valley and on the mountaintop? Has it not protected you when you could not protect yourself? That whisper is proof that you are never alone. Heaven has always walked with you. And so, I invite you now to seal this moment with a declaration. Comment these words. I hear you. Just 3 words. But they carry weight, for by writing them, you are not only acknowledging that you recognize the voice, you are proclaiming that you choose to follow it. It is a commitment, a response, a covenant. Heaven hears your echo when you type it. Chosen one. Never again call yourself abandoned. Never again believe the lie of silence. You are guided. You are counseled. You are seen. And the whisper within you is proof that God Himself has chosen to dwell near your heart. Treasure the voice, for it is the compass that will always point you toward destiny. And as you follow it, step by step, you will discover that you were never wandering, you were always being led. Chosen one. Now, it is time to unmask the strategies of spiritual sabotage. What you once thought were random accidents were in fact carefully designed assignments against your destiny. These were not coincidences, they were orchestrations of darkness. Every delayed opportunity, every broken relationship, every sudden confusion was not by chance. They were fiery arrows aimed to weaken your spirit, to make you abandon the path heaven carved for you. But look closely. Each time sabotage came, God left clues. There were patterns that repeated, signs you now recognize. Perhaps you noticed how breakthroughs always seemed to collapse at the last moment. Perhaps you saw how every time you were about to step into something new, distractions suddenly rose. These are not just bad luck. They are evidence of a battle. Chosen one. Imagine a farmer sowing seed. He scatters them across the soil, waiting for harvest. But hidden in the field are thorns and stones, waiting to choke the roots before they grow. This is how sabotage works. It tries to suffocate the seed before it matures. Yet what the enemy forgot is that heaven watches over your soil, and no thorn, no stone, no darkness can cancel what God has planted in you. Scripture says in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 10, the thief comes to steal, kill, destroy. I have come that they may have life, life to the full. The thief's agenda has always been to drain your joy, to rob your peace, to choke your faith. But Jesus declares that His presence in you is abundant life overflowing. Unshakable, untouchable. Now, reflect. How many times did you see sabotage try to derail you? A sudden argument on the day of opportunity. A betrayal that crushed your trust right before a door opened. A fear that paralyzed you at the edge of breakthrough. These were not accidents. They were coordinated attempts to silence you. But you are still here. The fact that you breathe, that you rise, that you listen even now is proof that sabotage has failed. And here, I must pause to speak to you with sincerity. These messages are not entertainment. They are lamps lit in a dark world. If they have reached into your heart, if they have unveiled truths that give you strength, then let us walk together in keeping this light alive. Support does not have to be grand. Even the smallest acts are like drops of water that keep the fire burning. When you like this message, it is as though you place oil in the lamp. When you share it, you pass the flame into someone else's darkness. When you subscribe, you plant your roots deeper, saying, "I will not let this fire leave me." And when you donate, you become like the one who supplies the vessel itself, ensuring the flame is never extinguished. Each act is simple, yet each is sacred. Think of a lighthouse by the sea. One small light stands in the storm, guiding ships from crashing against rocks. That light does not stand alone. It must be fueled, maintained, protected. Without those who keep its fire alive, many would be lost to the waves. Chosen one. That is what this work is. A lighthouse. And your support, whether by sharing, subscribing, or donating, is what keeps the flame steady for others who are still searching in the storm. But beyond support, this truth must pierce your heart. Sabotage only has power if you remain unaware. Now your eyes are open. You see the traps. You recognize the patterns. You will no longer be deceived. When delays come, you will discern. When distractions rise, you will stay focused. When fear whispers, you will remember the voice of God. This is your shield against sabotage: awareness, faith, and unwavering obedience. Chosen one. Let every past sabotage become a testimony, not a wound. Let every delay remind you that timing belongs to heaven. Let every betrayal sharpen your vision. You are not fragile. You are not easy prey. You are a warrior clothed in light, marked with divine authority. And now, as you walk forward, understand, sabotage will try again. But it will never succeed the way it once did. You are armed now. You are awakened. You are standing in truth. No thief can steal what is guarded by heaven. No darkness can extinguish a flame fueled by the Almighty. So rise. Chosen one. Keep your lamp burning. Keep your soil tended. Keep your eyes open. For the seeds planted in you are destined to bloom, and no sabotage can uproot them. Chosen one. The time has come to speak of the turning of tables. For too long, it seemed as though you were always the one pressed down, always the one overlooked, always the one carrying more than your share of burdens. The scales of life appeared unfair, tilted against you, as if favor belonged to others, but never to you. Yet heaven has been moving quietly, preparing a reversal so complete that those who mocked you will not recognize the strength rising within you. There is a principle written into the fabric of divine justice: what is stolen must be returned, not in equal measure, but multiplied. The years you thought were wasted, the joy that was drained, the opportunities that slipped through your hands, none of them are lost. They are being gathered, restored, and returned with increase. You are entering into a season where tables are turning, where those who once sat in power will watch heaven place the crown upon your head. Chosen one. Think of Joseph once more. He was cast down into a pit, sold as a slave, wrongfully imprisoned. To all appearances, his story was one of endless injustice. Yet, in a single day, the tables turned. He rose from prisoner to ruler, from forgotten to remembered, from accused to appointed. That same divine pattern is woven into your story. The very places where you were despised will become the places where you are honored. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Joel, chapter 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten, the cankerworm, and the caterpillar, and the palmer worm, my great army which I sent among you. Restoration is not only about giving back what was lost, it is about multiplying it. The barren fields will not simply sprout again, they will overflow with harvest. The broken vessel will not simply be mended, it will be remade into something more glorious. Chosen one. You may not see it yet, but the reversal has already begun. Look closely and you will notice small signs, doors opening where they were once sealed. Favor coming from unexpected places. Strength rising where there was once only exhaustion. These are the first winds of change. The whispers of heaven declaring that the tables are turning. What does it mean for the tables to turn? It means those who underestimated you will be astonished at your resilience. It means those who mocked your prayers will marvel at your breakthrough. It means that shame will be replaced with honor, that scarcity will give way to abundance, that silence will be replaced by songs of triumph. The very narratives spoken against you will be rewritten by the hand of God. Chosen one. Consider how often you felt unseen. You worked in silence, sowed seeds faithfully, gave love without return. Those who took advantage of your kindness thought they had triumphed. But heaven never forgets a seed. And now, in this season, harvest comes. You will eat from fields you did not even plant, drink from wells you did not dig, and walk through doors you never knocked on. Such is the nature of divine reversal. Do not fear if the process feels slow. Just as dawn creeps gently before flooding the sky, so too does restoration begin quietly before breaking forth in full glory. One day soon, you will wake and realize the heaviness has lifted, the lack has ended, the shame has been replaced with laughter. This is the promise: the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Chosen one, you are stepping into this promise. The weight of the past will no longer define you. The tears of yesterday will water the garden of tomorrow, and the very hands that tried to push you down will be forced to witness your rising. The turning of tables is not an empty phrase, it is a living reality, unfolding in your life right now. So, walk boldly, not in arrogance but in confidence. Know that your suffering was not wasted. Know that your endurance was not in vain. The God who sees in secret is now preparing to reward you openly, and when the tables fully turn, you will look back with awe. You will see how every valley prepared you for the mountain. You will see how every loss carved space for greater gain. You will see how every tear was counted and turned into joy. Chosen one. The turning of tables is not coming, it has begun. Step into it with faith, for the story is shifting, and your place at the table is being prepared. Chosen one. There is a moment when a crown, hidden in the shadows, is revealed. Many times in your life, you felt as though authority slipped through your hands. You sensed that something greater belonged to you, yet it seemed concealed, veiled, withheld. But now, the Spirit declares that the unveiling has come. The crown you thought was lost was never gone. It was reserved for the appointed hour. And that hour has arrived. For years, you walked, carrying a weight you could not explain. You were drawn to battles you did not choose. You endured rejection that cut deeper than words. You bore responsibilities others never carried. And though you questioned why, heaven was shaping you to wear authority rightly. A crown is not placed on the head of the untested. It is given to those who endured the fire, yet did not bow to it. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 25, everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last. But we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Chosen one. This is not about earthly reward, but about divine authority. The unveiling of your crown is the revelation that you are more than survivor. You are ruler. More than wanderer, you are heir. Your authority is not just for you. It is for those who will be healed through your testimony, guided through your wisdom, and awakened through your light. A crown means responsibility. It means your words carry weight. Your actions set precedent, and your choices ripple across generations. This is why the testing was so intense, because the assignment is so great. Think of a diamond. It begins as rough stone, buried and unseen, but through pressure, heat, and careful cutting, it emerges radiant, unmatched in beauty and strength. The crown upon your life is the same. Your seasons of pain were the pressure. Your fiery trials were the heat. Your pruning seasons were the cutting away. And now, the unveiling reveals what was always there, unshakable authority shining with heaven's brilliance. Chosen one. Never again call yourself overlooked. Authority does not always shout. It waits quietly until the moment of unveiling. And when it is revealed, even those who doubted you will recognize it. You carry the mantle of leadership, even if you never sought it. You carry the weight of wisdom, even if you never claimed it. This is what the crown signifies. You have been entrusted with influence from heaven itself. The enemy tried to hide this from you. He wanted you to believe you were powerless, voiceless, irrelevant. He worked hard to cover your crown in ashes of shame, hoping you would never see it. But ashes only highlight beauty when the fire passes. And now, instead of shame, you wear glory. Instead of heaviness, you carry authority. Chosen one. As you walk forward, the unveiling of your crown will shift how you see yourself. No longer will you shrink to fit the comfort of others. No longer will you silence your voice to make others feel secure. No longer will you hide your gifts to avoid jealousy. The crown cannot be hidden, for it was made to shine. And this is the moment where I ask you, as a prophetic act, to step into agreement with this revelation. Comment the number 555 below, not as digits on a screen, but as a declaration that you embrace the unveiling of your crown. 3 5s carry the meaning of grace multiplied, of divine favor overflowing, of heaven's hand resting mightily upon you. By writing 555, you are declaring, I receive my crown. I walk in authority. I accept my divine assignment. I, chosen one. Let this act be more than a gesture. Let it be a turning point. For heaven responds to faith. And even small steps like words typed in obedience release waves of transformation. When you align your declaration with heaven's truth, the veil lifts, and authority rests fully upon you. From this moment onward, see yourself as crowned. Walk as one who carries weight. Speak as one who carries truth. Stand as one who carries heaven's seal. You are not fragile. You are fortified. You are not overlooked. You are ordained. You are not empty. You are crowned. And when you feel doubt rising again, Remember this: crowns are not earned by perfection, but entrusted through endurance. And you, chosen one, have endured. You have stood when others fell. You have believed when others mocked. You have persevered when others gave up. That is why the unveiling is yours. Chosen one, step boldly now. Lift your head. Wear your crown with humility and strength, for heaven has declared it. The unveiling has begun, and your authority will shine for all to see. Chosen one, the fire you walked through was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to refine you. Every storm, every season of pressure, every trial that nearly broke you was a furnace shaping the steel of your soul. You have been tested, not once, but repeatedly, and though you thought the fire was punishment, in truth, it was preparation. Consider how fire works. It consumes what is temporary but reveals what is eternal. Straw and chaff vanish in flames, but gold and silver emerge purer, stronger, and more radiant. You, chosen one, are like that gold. The fire stripped away illusions, burned off false supports, and exposed what could not be destroyed: your faith, your resilience, your calling. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 2, verse 12. If we endure, we shall also reign with him. Endurance is not glamorous. It is not celebrated by the crowd. It is forged in tears, in silence, in the secret battles no one else sees. But endurance is the seed of authority. And you, chosen one, have endured. Think back on your journey. The betrayals that left you scarred, the delays that drained your hope, the whispers of failure that haunted your nights. Each of these moments pressed you deeper into the fire, yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still rising. That is not weakness. That is resilience beyond measure. Chosen one. Storms have a purpose. They strip away what cannot survive, so that only what is essential remains. Ships are tested not in calm waters, but in violent seas. Trees prove their roots not in gentle breezes, but in how they stand through raging winds. And so it has been with you. The fire of preparation has proven your roots, tested your vessel, and revealed that you are not easily shaken. The truth is this: every hardship you faced was a hammer shaping your destiny. Every disappointment was a chisel carving your character. Every rejection was a furnace refining your heart. You are not the same as you once were. You carry scars. Yes, but they are sacred. They testify of what you endured and how you emerged stronger. Chosen one. Understand the paradox. The fire that should have destroyed you actually forged you. The very storms sent to sink you trained you to walk on waves. The very weight that tried to crush you became the pressure that built your strength. You are no longer fragile. You are unshakable. And perhaps you still feel the heat of flames, still sense the pressure of trials. Do not despair. Fire is not permanent. It is a process. It comes for a season. And when its work is complete, it passes. And when it does, you emerge carrying something eternal. Greater wisdom, deeper faith, sharper discernment, stronger authority. These are the treasures forged in fire. Chosen one. When people look at you, they may see only the surface. They may not know the weight you carried, the storms you endured, the fire you walked through. But heaven knows. Heaven saw every tear, every cry, every silent night where you felt you could not continue. And heaven has declared, none of it was wasted. You are like iron placed in the furnace, before the fire. It is brittle, breakable, but after the fire, it becomes steel, unyielding, sharp, enduring. That is what you have become. You are not who you once were. You are forged, fortified, prepared. The fire of preparation also stripped you of false dependencies. It taught you to rely not on fragile human promises, but on the unshakable faithfulness of God. It taught you to trust not in the applause of the crowd, but in the voice that whispers in secret. It taught you that even in the furnace, you were never alone. Remember the story of the three in Babylon's furnace, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were thrown into flames meant to kill them, but instead, they walked unharmed, because a fourth figure stood with them in the fire. So it has been with you. The flames were real, but the presence was greater. The fire came, but it could not consume you, because God Himself walked with you. Chosen one. Let this truth sink deep. The fire was not your enemy. It was your maker. It refined you into who you were always meant to be. And now, as the flames die down, the reflection in the mirror is no longer the same. It is stronger. It is wiser. It is radiant with purpose. So do not despise the fire. Honor it, for it has proven that nothing in hell could destroy what heaven placed within you. And as you step forward, you do so not as one fragile from battle, but as one tempered, refined, unshakable, chosen one. The fire prepared you. But now, revelation of identity brings you into fullness. For too long, you wondered who you truly were. The world tried to name you with labels too weak, too strange, too broken, too unworthy. People projected their fears onto you, shaping an image that never belonged to you. And for a time, you believed them. You wore masks, hid your light, and tried to be smaller than you were meant to be. But that season is over. Now heaven unveils your true reflection. You are not forgotten, not overlooked, not insignificant. You are heaven's ambassador. You carry the seal of divine authority. Where you walk, light follows. Where you speak, truth cuts through shadows. Where you stand, the ground itself is marked by the presence of God's chosen. This is not arrogance, it is assignment. Identity is not pride, it is revelation of origin, as Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. These words were spoken not to flatter, but to awaken. Chosen one. You were never created to blend into darkness. You were designed to shine, to be visible, to carry a light so radiant that even shadows bow before it. Your difference, once mocked, is now revealed as destiny. The traits that made you feel out of place were not flaws, they were signatures of divine craftsmanship. Sensitivity was given so you could feel what others ignore. Intensity was given so you could carry assignments too heavy for ordinary shoulders. Isolation was given so you could hear heaven without distraction. What seemed like weakness is now revealed as strength. Think of the eagle. While smaller birds flap anxiously in storms, the eagle stretches its wings and rises higher on the very winds others fear. You are like that eagle. What others flee from, you rise upon. Your identity was forged, not to cower, but to ascend. That is why storms followed you, because you were built to ride them. Identity is more than a title. It is a foundation. When you see yourself rightly, no lie can chain you. When you embrace who you are, no opinion can shrink you. When you stand in your true reflection, you become unshakable. This is why the enemy fought so hard to cloud your vision of self. He knew if you ever discovered the truth of who you are, nothing could stop you. Chosen one. Remember this: you are not the sum of your mistakes. You are not the echo of rejection. You are not the wound of betrayal. You are the beloved of God, marked with eternal purpose. Your scars do not define you. They decorate you as reminders of survival. Your failures do not erase you. They refine you as wisdom for the path ahead. Identity brings freedom. It frees you from the hunger for approval. It frees you from the fear of rejection. It frees you from the prison of comparison. When you know who you are, you stop measuring yourself against others and start walking in the uniqueness heaven entrusted to you. Chosen one. Step back and see. Your identity has always been visible in your endurance. You survived what others could not. You carried weight others dropped. You rose from ashes others remained buried in. This is not coincidence, it is evidence. Evidence that you are more than ordinary. Evidence that you carry divine resilience. Evidence that your identity is anchored in something greater than circumstances. Think of Moses, who doubted his voice, but was called to speak to nations. Think of Esther, hidden and ordinary until revealed as a queen. Think of Peter, who denied Christ, yet became a rock of the church. All of them stumbled. All of them doubted. Yet their true identity was greater than their failures. So it is with you, chosen one. The revelation of identity is not just for your comfort, it is for your mission. When you walk in clarity, others around you awaken. Your light becomes contagious, stirring courage in those who have forgotten their worth. Your confidence becomes a mirror, reflecting back to others their own hidden strength. This is why your identity matters, because it is not only for you, but for those who will be set free through your example. So, rise now in this awareness. Do not shrink. Do not apologize. Do not dim yourself to soothe fragile hearts. You were never created to live in shadows. You are the light, the ambassador, the chosen one. And as you step into this revelation, heaven will confirm it again and again, through doors opening, through favor flowing, through signs aligning. Chosen one. Let the lies fall away. Let the masks burn. Let the old labels dissolve. For now you know who you are, and that truth cannot be shaken. You are heaven's reflection on earth, and your identity is your greatest weapon. Chosen one. Can you feel it? The atmosphere itself has shifted. What was once heavy is beginning to lift. What was once silent is beginning to resound. What was once hidden is beginning to shine. The season of concealment is over. And now, even darkness trembles because your light can no longer be veiled. For a long time, you walked quietly, unseen, misunderstood. It was as though you were a seed buried deep beneath the soil, invisible to the world above. People thought you had been forgotten, buried, lost. But what they could not see is that heaven was watering you in secret. And now, The seed has broken through the ground. The sprout has risen. Life is visible. The shift is here. Chosen one. Shifts are not always loud. Sometimes they happen slowly, like dawn stretching its fingers across the horizon. At first, you only notice faint hints of color. But then, suddenly, the sky is ablaze with light. So it is with you. The faint signs you felt within the renewed strength, the surprising clarity, the inner fire are the first colors of your dawn. Soon, the full light will flood every corner of your life. It was written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, your light has come. The glory of the Lord rises upon you. This is not a future hope. It is a present declaration. Your light has come. Your season of hiding has ended. The atmosphere has shifted, and heaven's glory rests upon you. Think of a caterpillar within its cocoon. For weeks, it appears still, wrapped in confinement, motionless. Yet within, a transformation is taking place. When the cocoon finally breaks, what emerges is not the creature that entered. It is winged, radiant, destined for heights. Chosen one. You are breaking from your cocoon. The confinement was necessary, but it was never permanent. The shift has broken it open. Now, as this shift unfolds, your presence will carry new weight. Walk into a room, and the atmosphere will change. Speak, and your words will cut deeper. Pray, and doors will open. This is the effect of the unveiling. Heaven's glory does not allow you to remain invisible. You are not just surviving, you are shining. Chosen one. I must pause here and speak with sincerity. What you are receiving now are not mere words, they are keys of awakening. They are bread for the hungry soul, water for the weary spirit. And if these messages have touched you, if they have given you strength in seasons where nothing else could, then I invite you to help carry this light further. When you like this word, it is as though you place another log upon the fire, ensuring it burns brighter. When you share it, you become like a river, carrying living water to dry lands where others thirst. When you subscribe, you anchor yourself, saying, I will not drift from this flow. And when you donate, you sow into fertile soil, ensuring that seeds of truth continue to be planted across countless lives. Think of it like this. A single candle can light a room, but 1,000 candles can light a city. Your engagement, your comment, your share, your support multiplies this flame. Somewhere, another chosen one sits in silence, waiting for confirmation that they are not forgotten, and your simple act may be the spark that awakens them. And so, I encourage you also, leave a comment, not just words for the sake of typing, but as a living testimony. Share what part of this truth stirred your soul. Share what battles you have endured, what whispers you have heard, what shift you now sense, because your story may be the very bridge that carries another across their valley. Chosen one. The shift in the atmosphere means this: heaven has declared your concealment over. The shadows cannot hold you. The chains cannot bind you. The silence cannot smother you. You were hidden for a season, but now you are revealed for a purpose. The time of dimming your light is gone. The time of shining has come. Walk with confidence. The shift is not temporary, it is permanent. The new season is not fragile, it is fortified. The glory upon you is not fleeting, it is anchored in eternity. And as you step forward, darkness itself will retreat, because it cannot stand against what you carry. Chosen one, lift your head. The shift is real, the atmosphere is alive, and the season of unveiling is here. Chosen one. The time has come for prophecy to meet your steps. For too long, promises hovered over your life like clouds, heavy with rain. You believed, you prayed, you waited, and yet fulfillment seemed distant. But now, heaven declares, this is the hour to walk into what has been spoken. Prophecy is no longer words written on scrolls of expectation. It is becoming reality beneath your feet. Understand this. Prophecy is not vague hope. It is a blueprint from eternity. A design drawn by the hand of God Himself. Every word spoken over you. Every promise whispered into your spirit. Every confirmation repeated through signs and seasons was not empty sound. They were maps, guiding you toward your appointed future. And now, the path before you is aligning with those maps. Chosen one. Do you recall the nights when you doubted if the promises were real? You whispered to yourself, maybe I heard wrong. Maybe I am not who I thought I was. Yet, in those same moments, confirmation always found you. A word, a dream, a scripture, even a stranger's encouragement, all of it reminding you that heaven had not forgotten. The prophecy was alive, waiting for you to step into it. The ancient words recorded in Romans, chapter 4, verse 21, declare, being fully persuaded that God had power to do what He had promised. This was written of Abraham, who received a promise that defied human logic. He was told of descendants as numerous as the stars. Though his body was old and his wife's womb barren, still he believed, and in time he saw fulfillment. Chosen one. Your story carries this same rhythm, against all odds. The word will come to pass. Prophecy often feels delayed, but delay does not mean denial. A seed planted in the ground does not sprout overnight. It must die to itself, be hidden in darkness, and break apart before new life emerges. In the same way, promises must go through hidden seasons where nothing appears to be happening. But just as a seed never ceases its inner work, so prophecy never ceases its unfolding. Chosen one. Walking into prophecy requires courage. It means stepping forward even when you do not yet see the full picture. It means trusting the voice of God more than the evidence of circumstances. It means holding on when everything around you says, impossible. Yet every step you take in obedience pulls the unseen into the seen, the eternal into the present. Think of Israel standing before the Red Sea. The prophecy was freedom. Yet, in front of them was a wall of water, and behind them an army of chains. It was only when they stepped forward in faith that the sea parted and the promise became their reality. So it will be with you. The waters before you will split, not because you see the way, but because you walk anyway. Chosen one. Prophecy is not only about you, it is about those who will be blessed through you. When you step into destiny, others find freedom. When you walk in your calling, others are awakened. Your obedience becomes the key that unlocks doors for countless souls. That is why the enemy fought so hard to make you doubt, delay, or abandon the words spoken over you. He feared what your fulfillment would release, but his fears are justified. Because nothing can cancel what God has decreed, you stand now at the edge of manifestation. The words that once seemed distant are aligning with your days. The season of waiting is giving way to the season of walking. You are no longer simply carrying prophecy, you are stepping into it. And when it happens, chosen one, it may not come with trumpet blasts or shouts from the crowd. Sometimes prophecy manifests quietly, like dawn spreading across the sky. One moment it seems dark. The next, light has filled the horizon. Do not despise the subtle signs. The very shift you sense in your spirit is evidence that fulfillment is here. Walk boldly. Let your steps echo with faith. Let your voice align with what has been promised. Speak as one who already carries fulfillment. Act as one who already stands in possession, for heaven does not lie. And what God has spoken cannot return void. Chosen one, the time of wandering is closing. The time of fulfillment is opening. Step forward with assurance. You are not chasing prophecy, you are walking in it. Chosen one. The journey has brought you here to the unveiling of victory, to the place where the secret they tried to bury becomes the banner you now carry. From the beginning, forces of darkness sought to silence you, to make sure your story would never be heard, to bury truth under shame and rejection. Yet everything they tried to conceal has been turned by heaven into a testimony so radiant it cannot be denied. Do you see it now? The very scars that once embarrassed you are now shining with glory. The moments you thought were wasted are now woven into a narrative of triumph. Every pit they pushed you into became a wellspring of wisdom. Every insult hurled at you became mortar for your resilience. What was meant to end you became the very foundation of your rise. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 60, verse 4, "But for those who fear you, you have raised a banner to be unfurled against the bow." Chosen one, you are that banner. Your very existence is a standard raised against darkness. Every step you take proclaims to the world that light cannot be buried, that destiny cannot be erased, that chosen ones cannot be silenced. Think of a field after battle. Smoke still rises. Ashes scatter the ground. Yet among the ruins stands a survivor, scarred but unbroken, weary but unyielding. That survivor plants a banner in the earth, declaring, "We still stand." That is you. Your life declares survival, victory, and resilience. You are not the ruins, you are the banner raised high above them. The enemy thought burying the truth would keep it hidden forever. But burying a seed does not kill it. It only ensures that, in due time, it will break through the ground and multiply. You were that seed, buried in pain, buried in shame, buried in silence. But the ground could not hold you. The moment came, and you rose not as you once were, but transformed, radiant, carrying fruit for generations. Chosen one, your victory is not quiet. It is a sound in the spirit, a trumpet in the unseen realms, a testimony echoing across time. When people look at you, they may not fully understand the cost of your journey, but they will see the glory that rests upon you. They will sense the authority in your presence, the weight in your words, the fire in your eyes. For you have walked through valleys most cannot imagine, and you emerged crowned. Do not minimize this victory. Do not call small what heaven calls glorious. The banner you carry is not only for you, it is for those who will come after you. They will look at your scars and find courage. They will hear your story and find hope. They will walk in paths you have cleared through your endurance. Your banner is a guidepost for those still lost in their own battles. Chosen one. Glory does not mean absence of struggle. It means triumph in spite of it. Glory is not the denial of pain, but the transformation of it. Glory is not the erasure of scars, but the shining of them. And this is your portion now, to walk crowned. Not as one who avoided fire, but as one who endured it and carries its light. Lift your eyes. See how far you have come. You are no longer hidden in shadows. You are no longer silenced by lies. You are no longer buried beneath fear. You walk as a chosen one, crowned in glory, carrying the very truth they tried to suppress. Your life is proof that heaven's plan always prevails. And when you feel the weight of that crown, remember, it is not heavy because it is a burden, it is heavy because it is real. Glory always carries weight. Authority always bears responsibility. But you, chosen one, are strong enough. You have been prepared for this. Every battle shaped you. Every tear watered your strength. Every fire forged your steel. You are ready. So let the banner fly. Let your story shine. Let your crown rest firmly upon your head. The secret is no longer hidden. It has become the anthem of your life. You, beloved, are the living testimony that no weapon formed against you can prosper, that every scheme of darkness collapses in the light, that the chosen cannot be silenced. Chosen one. You have reached the end of this journey, but it is not the end of your story. What you have just walked through, every word, every revelation, every moment of awakening was not coincidence. It was heaven's hand guiding you step by step, peeling back the layers, reminding you of who you are, set apart, unshakable, unstoppable, crowned in glory. This message is more than sound. It is seed, and seeds must be planted, watered, and shared. If this word has stirred your spirit, if it has spoken to hidden places within you, then do not let it remain silent inside. Like the ripple of a stone cast into water, let it extend beyond you. Share it so that another weary soul may find strength. Like it, so the flame remains visible in this vast ocean of noise. Subscribe so that you remain anchored, never missing the next word. Heaven chooses to release into your life, and if your heart feels moved, I invite you with sincerity, sow into this work. Donations are not transactions, they are streams that keep the river flowing. Every gift, whether small or great, is fuel for the light that reaches countless others. You are not just supporting words, you are helping build a lighthouse in the storm, where others will one day find their way home. Finally, I ask you, leave your voice in the comments. Tell your story. Write what stirred you most. Your words may be the confirmation another chosen one needs to keep going. Do not underestimate the power of your testimony. It is part of the banner you now carry. Stand tall. Beloved, you are chosen. You are crowned. You are unstoppable. And your best days are still ahead.